Hi guys, very good evening to you. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this video again I'm going to discuss something very special, something very useful. So in this video we'll talk about the Outlook code, how to connect your Outlook with the Excel, and this is actually I'm trying to give this video is for one of my subscribers, Hemant, who has actually written me, hi sir, can you please share a code how to download the specific subject line and date attachment. Please share with me, it's a lot of help. Alright, so he has actually asked that how to basically go to your this, let's say, inbox and see that what is the subject line of your email, right? And according to that, if you have some attachment there, Excel file attached, then that should be downloaded, right, to any specific location. Now for example, so I have just prepared these dummy emails because this is not my this is my personal laptop, so I didn't have any actually a professionally written email. So these are just the kind of the fake emails which I have written in order to explain this code. So as you see guys, I have a lot of subjects here, different emails in my inbox folder, testing, test Outlook, today's status, and then hi everybody, hello, attachment, and there are couple of more. So what we want to do is, in an attempt to answer to a question which is raised by Hemant, what he's trying to say is that if any of the subject line has some specific text, let's say what we want to do is, in this inbox we have around 10-11 emails. We want to run a loop and we want to check that if there is any email which has a subject line which contains a word called test, for example, testing Outlook, testing, today's status, of course not, hi everybody, hello. So these emails should be ignored, but the first two emails should be actually picked, and then in those emails my Outlook code should actually check, the VBA code should check if that email has any attachment or not, and if it is, then it should be saved in your D drive or E drive, whatever. Maybe you can save it on your desktop, right? That's all up to you, but I'm going to save it in the D drive. So this is the kind of a I think he's trying to develop this code in his office. That's why he said that he actually needs it. So definitely thanks for writing me in, Hemant, and I am glad that you asked such a good question. It's a very useful thing. So we'll connect our Outlook with the Excel. So I'm on my Excel, and this is I have just opened this the workbook. This is a new workbook. So now how you can do it, before I take you that, I just want to as always I would like to take just your 10 to 15 seconds, and I would like to tell you, for those who are watching this video for the first time, this is the 160 video. We have already uploaded 159 videos on Excel and VBA, and you can go to my website, or maybe you can go to my channel and you can watch all the things there. For example, this is my website, excelvbalover.com. Go to the tutorial section, and if you're looking for the online training which I provide through Skype application, you can go there on the training course. If you are interested in watching the videos, you can go there, and on the VBA also I have the VBA training course available and the video tutorial section. So these are all 160 videos, the free videos for you guys, so that you can take the benefit of it. And I must say that every video, if you look at it, I'm sure you will definitely gain something, right? And you can actually utilize them in your office also. So I'll upload this video under this category where you can see I have already got around 5 long videos, connect Outlook with Excel, right? So this video you can also go and watch this maybe somewhere here once I get this uploaded, or maybe you can go to my website, YouTube channel also, and on my YouTube channel you can go through all these playlists. So these are all those 160 videos. Now that's all up to you whether you want to watch it using my website, or you can simply go to my YouTube channel also, right? So now let's go ahead, and this is what exactly I was talking about. In my YouTube channel we have this VBA connecting Outlook from Excel. 5 videos are there, you can watch it, right? So let me just come back to my code and to this Excel file also. So I'm going to tell you now what exactly you need to do here. And this video is for everybody. My all subscribers and people who are watching this for the first time. So see, what exactly we are going to do is couple of things we need to take care of it. First, because we are going to make this code using Excel, so we'll have to create a reference of the Outlook code so that we can access the Outlook classes. So in order to do that, let me be on the module 2. You first go to the tools, reference, and this Microsoft Outlook 14.0 object library has to be check marked, right? I did this because I was just doing some work on the Outlook, but in your case it will not be available. So what you need to do is you need to press M, and then you need to go and find the Microsoft Outlook wherever it is. Now depending upon your version, right, this may vary. Like in my case, if you see, let me go to the home tab, it is 14.0, right? So in your case, if it is Outlook 2013 or Outlook 2003, you know, this version will vary, but that's not the problem. You just need to check this, because once you do that, then you will be able to use the Outlook classes. So what I need to actually do is that it's quite simple. I'm going to write the code here, and the code would be Outlook subject search. Let's see. Alright, so I'm going to define the Outlook, and this is what I'm going to use, the early binding method. Now a lot of things actually I can talk on this maybe for 2 hours, 3 hours, endless, because this is very interesting, right, in depth, and this is what exactly I provide in my trainings to my students, but for now I would like to concentrate on the code, and so that you can see this, you can pause the video later on and you can write this code on your this Excel, and from there you can connect it. It's a very useful code, and you can also go and watch the rest of the codes. I think if I tell you one thing, in my website, this is the video I think which is the favorite video of all my subscribers. I get a lot of clicks on this video. Send emails to multiple email IDs, yeah, and this is also how to save email attachments on desktop, right? Alright, so you can go definitely and watch those videos and can try to take the benefit. Okay, so first of all, and I have also explained a lot of things there, what is early binding and late binding. This time I'll prepare the directly code. So I'm declaring a variable called Outlook as Outlook.application, and then I'll define this in the variable, this the object Outlook. This should be defined in your VBA so that it can take some memory in your this hard disk, and from there actually VBA can use that. So it is going to take some the storage size, it is going to take some the memory, so this is how you will define it, Outlook.application. When this line will be executed, then Outlook will be created in the computer's memory, right? And the next thing I want to do is I want to also deal with the email item. So I'll write here mail as mail item, or maybe mail as Outlook.mail item, and then use the mail equals to new Outlook.create item as OL mail item. This is responsible for actually for your emails when you work on the email. Obviously I need to work on the email. In this case I need to access every email, so that's why I have to use this class which is called the mail item. The next thing which I would like to do is because I'm interested in the inbox folder. In case if you have some different folder, you can define the different folder, let's say draft, or maybe somewhere else you have there are a number of folders, maybe like I have created here Ajay, and there are some more folders. So but I'm going to deal with this, I'm going to run a loop in the inbox folder. So first of all I'll declare this as o namespace as Outlook namespace. Now this is a library which is responsible to when you work on the folders, when you want to access the emails on specific folders, you use the Outlook.namespace, right? So I'll give this a meaningful name. So we'll define this o namespace as so this is going to be my Outlook create get namespace mapping, right? This is the word which you actually have to write. This is mandatory for it, right? Its full form is messaging application interface. I just don't remember P stand for what, but this actually line is responsible for creating a this the variable, the object o namespace in your memory, which will ultimately be responsible for your folders. So once you do that, then you declare the folder. So I'm going to declare here as outlook.folder. Now what is your folder? So I'll define the folder as well using the namespace get folder. So what is your folder? So my folder is get default folder is inbox, right? In case if you have your this emails stored somewhere else, maybe you want to search in the deleted items, or maybe contact, conflict, inbox. I mean, there's so many things, right? So you can do that, but I will be interested in the inbox only. Right now, just in case if you're looking for the code that if you have these emails somewhere in the folder, let's say called Ajay, which you have created, then you can watch my other video on that the website, where I've written that how you can actually define these subfolders as well. They're very simple, but right now I'm just focusing on the inbox. Okay, so this is done, and one more thing we would like to do is ATMT. I'm going to define it as Outlook attachment, because your attachment is also there, right? Attachment means the Excel file which is associated with your email, right? Okay, so I think we're good to go. So let's just run the loop for each. We'll use the collection loop. So I'll say that for each mail, which is my called email, in my this called the folder, which is my folder dot items, next, and message box. Let me show you what will happen. So we'll do this subject. Now if I run this code, I'm sure we should be able to access all the emails. Look at this. This is the inbox, right? So my folder is what? My folder is inbox, OL folder inbox, right? So this is going to in a layman term, if I have to explain you, what we are doing is we are saying that for every email in the a folder which is called the inbox of its items, means mail items, you need to access the mail subject, means the subject, whatever the subject you have. So let's just run it and let's see what happens. Alright, so there you go. So you have all the subjects, you can access it. It's quite simple, right? Yep, very nice, good job. So I've got all the emails actually, you see all these emails. Now what he has written is what Himmat has actually written is let me take you back to my email. So he's saying that I need to download the specific subject lines and the date attachments, right? So what he's I think targeting is that he doesn't want to download every attachment, right? He wants to download the specific subject line attachments. Like in this case, as I said, we are going to download the Excel attachments from only from those actually emails which has a subject as a test, which where you have the word coming in as test. It could be in any form, like testing, test Outlook, or maybe something else also, like test me or whatever, right? If the subject line contains that test word, then definitely we would like to go to that email and we would like to save that attachment in D drive. So what we are going to do, so I have actually, if I open it, one is the Excel file called advanced filter, and the second is called the 24 cost benefit analysis. These are the two files which should be saved in D drive. Rest I really don't bother. I want to neglect this. I want to neglect this as well, me.txt as this text file, me text. I don't want to download it, right? So far so good. We are able to get all the access to all the subject lines. Now what next? Now the next thing is a very important line. Now once you have the message box, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that if that subject line, or maybe what we can do is, instead of having the message box, there's no fun of actually getting the message box, just declare it using variable message box. I just wanted to actually show you how it is going to work, but we don't need the message box, right? So here I'm going to declare it as a string. Now in the Z the message box will come, and so I'm going to say now, if this is how you write, if this subject has a word called test in the beginning and in the end. So we write the while character, we make the use of while character called star, right? That means that before and after test it could be anything, right? But test has to be there. But if you want to be, if you want specifically it should start with the test, then you can ignore this and test star would do then. So if my subject line contains 10, then what I want to do, then I want to run another loop, which is for each attachment, which is my this ATMT. You can see here somewhere I have written here, I think, yeah, that's my ATMT. This is my object, which is actually my Outlook dot attachment. So for each ATMT in my this Outlook attachment, attachments, next what I want to do is I want to save those attachments, means Excel files, right, in the D drive. This is how you write, in the D drive. And then of course in the D drive, where do you want to save, or with what name? I mean to say, of course, whatever the name I have for that attachment. So I guess it's the properties file name, yeah, right. So this would be D drive and the name of that file. So I should, let me take you to my D drive. That's my D drive, right? So here you see I don't have any that file created, advanced filter, and the another one was what was the name? Let me see, 24 cost benefiting. So when we run this code, if this code works fine, then we should be able to see them in this D drive, right? That's the purpose. So I think we're good to go. Let me just you can pause this video and you can see the code and you can, you know, write it. I wish I could send it to you through email to each of you who all are associated with my this program, but you know that can't be possible. But that's why I've just resized the screen so that you can pause it and you can see the code. Alright, so now let's just quickly run this and see if it is going to do its magic or not. And at the same time, let me just also have this D drive opened here, right? So you can see here I'm going to run this code quickly. Let's see. Alright, so I got an error, and I'm very fond of errors because I think with the errors you can really learn a lot. So it says next without for. Yeah, my mistake actually. I should have written the end if, because if you're writing if, you have to write the end if also. So let's just run this. Wow, it ran. So I think, yeah, there you go, you got the files. You got the files from those emails which has a word, the subject line as test Outlook and testing. So this is what, you know, I think you were asking me, Hemant, and this is what I think everybody, I mean, you know, can actually use in their office, because if you are working on the Microsoft products, I'm sure you would be working on the Outlook as well, right? Now if you further, you can, you know, go ahead and you can also create further one more thing, that if your Excel file has let's say some particular content, then you can again put the, you know, if logic here, and you can see that if my ATMT file name, let's say, contains any particular word, you can write here, you know, let's say A star, and then this, and then what should happen? Then it should be saved. This is what you can write. For example, let me just cut this and paste it here, right? And then end if. So here you're using actually two ifs, but one is the outer one and another is the inner one. So in this case we are no more so what we are doing is, this code actually will ensure that first the subject line has to be test. It should contain this test word, and in that test also your file name should have this word called A. Right, let me give you this example. First of all, let's just quickly delete these two lines, Excel files, I beg your pardon. Now let's say what we want to do is, out of these two files, I'm saying that any file which contains a word called cost, that should be, you know, downloaded in D drive. So that means in my first email here I don't have that cost word, so this time advanced filter.xlsx file should not be downloaded, right? If this is your target, right? So what we can do, we can write here star cost, and we should write it within the quotes. I guess that's fine. So if the attachment file name has this word called cost, then it should save it in the D drive, otherwise it should go to the next file. Alright, so I'm back on my D drive. You can see here we don't have any of those two files, so let me just run this and let's see if this time it's going to run or not. So let's just run this. F5, there you go. Alright, so I ran F5 and I think I'm not able to see anything here. Alright, there is no file actually saved here. Let me refresh it. Okay, let's just go back to our email. Very interesting. Let's see. Okay, it says 24 cost. So cost, the word I have written here, I think you should be able to actually capture it. Oh, my mistake. Can you see that, guys? I just told you that what is the use of this star, so I forgot to put the star in before this cost, because if I don't write it, then it would search for the words which starts with the cost. But now here in my case, cost could be anywhere, right? So I have to put the star. Star means any character it can actually accommodate. Alright, now let's just run this and see the magic. I'm sure this time it should work actually. Let's just press F5. Alright, yeah, so there you go. You can see here the file actually has come. And there is another file which we were getting it previously, the file called advanced filter. It's not available this time, and you know the reason, because we have now went one step ahead and we then made our approach further more selective actually, not just in the subject line, but we also want that in the subject line also, whatever the Excel file we have, if that file has this word called cost only, then it should be able to upload the file. So now you can run this F8 also using the F8 code also. Let me show you why not. So when you go here, you look at this. Now your subject line is good morning, right? So the good morning, this is the file. So obviously good morning doesn't contain any word called test. So what will happen, this if condition will fail, and ultimately when you run this, it will go to the end if, and the next time this access a different email which is testing. Now in the testing, you see the test word comes, so it will go to the next, the true criteria, where I have said that now look at its attachment. So it's going to check that attachment of test, the file which is of the email which is called the testing, which is this one, right? So here now the file name is, you can see here, it's 24 cost benefit analysis, and which contains the word called cost. So definitely it goes to the then word which is called the attachment atmt.save as file. So it is going to save the file. Now you can see the file is saved. If I look in the D drive, the file is saved here, right? And then the next time this email is access course, so it doesn't have any word called test, so it will go to the end if next. Now this time again it goes to the another email which has the attachment 1. You can see here that's the subject line. So this is how this code actually will work. So you can see here, right? Nowhere it's meeting. Now here it met, and I'm sure Z must be test outlook because it contains this test word. But so when it goes in the true criteria, here it sees that the file name is the advanced filter.xlsx, which is not cost. So what will happen, this will not save, and it goes to the simply to the end if, and there you go. That's the code, right? So that's the code, and I think I've already taken enough time for today, and you can use this code. I'm sure you must be liking this code because this is a very useful code. I have used it several times in my office in past. And so that's it, guys. This was the end of the video number 160. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, as always I request you, please be part of my channel, and don't forget to watch all those rest of the videos on the Outlook series as well, right? So signing off, and I promise I'll come up with one more exciting video very soon. Thank you so much, and stay fit and have a great learning. Bye bye.